Что ж, продолжим расследовать, обследовать. Так, на чем я остановился? Вот что такое. Я так понимаю, мне надо дальше по сюжету идти уже. Готовится к суаре. Дневник. Здесь я не могу сделать ничего. Здесь я не нашел, что еще делать. Дождаться развития событий, но это идет по ходу. Отель Империал закрыт. Я вот тут сохранюсь.
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
I see you went to a barber. That's something at least.
Recently I met a bearded guy who's not especially fussy about his appearance. And yes, people welcome him everywhere with open arms anyway.
Maybe he's a natural charmer. I've heard that can get you into the Imperial even without a tailcoat.
Very funny.
Are you getting dressed so we can go, or have you changed your plans?
Yes, let's go and see if I do fit in.
In that case, I'll go get changed too.
Нонконформизм. Жесть.
And here I worried I was the only one who looked good in trousers. Very chic choice.
Thank you. You look fantastic.
Thank you. You think Papa would be mad that we're going to a party right after his funeral?
I hope so.
Victor.
He could have kept from losing the Black Grimoire. Are we ready?
Yes, the carriage is waiting.
Welcome to the Imperial Hotel. How may I help you?
Ligia Shulska, here on the invitation of Svetlana Rumyantseva.
Yes, we are expecting you, of course. The soiree is taking place in apartment 237, second floor. I wish you a thrilling and successful evening.
I'm impressed. How did you sort that out?
Our name still means something. Let's do our best to keep it that way, all right?
Так. Змея какая-то.
Who are you, my golden slithering friend?
Victor? Victor. Victor! Can you hear me?
Yes. Of course.
These people are just waiting for us to put a foot wrong, understand? We're walking into the Vipers then, brother.
I'm going to hang around here a little longer. I'll meet you upstairs.
See you there.
Так, что по заданиям? Они не пропали? Не пропали. Тоже хорошо. Сергей, Софья. Это что такое? Ну, наверное, по-любому.
Well, well, someone new.
Good evening.
Good evening, Viktor Shulsky.
Irina Orlova of those Orlovs. This is Natalia Obolenskaya, and this strangely quiet soul is our delightful Sofia Skawan.
Irina is exaggerating. Nice to meet you, Mr. Shulsky.
The Governor General's daughter herself. How do you do?
What can you tell us?
How are you enjoying yourselves?
We can't complain. Seeing as we're debutantes, we're getting a lot of attention.
Really?
Maybe you'll tell us something about yourself.
I suspect you want to hear more about the book.
We've never met a thaumaturgist before. To tell the truth, I didn't believe they existed.
A thaumaturge. Don't worry. But now you do.
Well, it depends on what kind of trick you show us, Mr. Shulsky.
I've heard a certain secret. Do you want to hear it?
Come now, we won't tell anyone.
Or maybe I shouldn't.
Do you like being a tease?
Forgive me, ladies, for teasing you like this. Here's the secret.
Come on, we're dying to know.
Someone was recently playing with the lock on one of the gilded cages, wondering what would happen if all the birds escaped captivity. And I know for certain it was one of you.
Sophia, that sounds like you. Admit it.
And now what will happen to us, Mr. Shulsky?
In exchange for my discretion, I need another secret of yours. That's the only way to keep everyone in check.
What should I choose?
Our fathers don't know we're here. There you are.
How naughty. None of your fathers
Как же он их разводит.
None, especially not Sophia's. Otherwise he wouldn't have let her come.
I'm very satisfied with this trade.
And what now?
I need to slip away for a moment.
We should go as well. We've really forgotten ourselves around you.
That's nice to hear, but I understand. The soiree won't wait.
I hear Rumyantseva has invited a real medium.
Will there be ghosts? That I'd like to see.
Интересно.
what did we come here for? These soirees are for old people.
Good evening. May I?
Please, we're not discussing anything consequential.
You keep on worrying about yourselves. I intend to make the most of this evening.
See, I told you he was in love. Miss Scowan is out of your league, my friend.
To say nothing of her father.
Old Scowan and I are practically on first-name terms now. You'll see.
I'm sure.
So, one eye-catching girl has already got an admirer. What does that leave us, Maxime?
Not much. The dull, the silly, or, well, the old.
En parlant de Ligiashulska, she just passed this way.
Pigs will fly before someone fancies her.
She'd actually prefer Sophia Scowan, according to what I've heard. Well, what do you think?
My name is Viktor Shulsky.
Well, there we have it.
And I don't like what I just heard. Especially about my sister.
And, what are you going to do about it?
Да ничего.
Pardon me, gentlemen. I promised that I would be well behaved tonight.
Lunatic.
Лунатик. Так. Чё по... Найти человека? Ну, понятно. Карта есть. Заперта. Тогда сначала сюда.
Mr. Shulsky?
I didn't expect to see you here, of all places.
You don't know how very flattering that is. And what brings you to the Imperial?
I could ask him the same question.
I'm passing the time.
Ah, curious hobby.
I'm simply interested in people.
Do you know these circles well?
They're not hard to figure out. A gang of none-too-bright layabouts, chasing amusement after amusement after amusement.
Do you feel part of that gang?
I'm not one of them. And neither are you. Nor was your father.
Who are you, really?
Just someone who wants to enjoy himself at a party.
If I may, there's one question niggling at me. How did you get so many scars?
Why do you ask?
I've heard that Russian officers in training have drunken duels with sabers after hours.
No. A very peculiar custom, if that's true.
So where did those scars come from?
I've led an interesting life.
The cream of Warsaw society is here, so I thought it would be worth showing my face.
With a name like yours, I'm sure you fit right in. After all, someone must have invited you.
The friend of a friend of a friend is throwing this party, so you might say I know the hostess.
Rumiantseva herself? Look at you.
And who invited you?
The friend of a friend of a friend. What are you hoping for this evening?
Who knows? Maybe I'm keeping an eye out for the future Mrs. Schulska.
Best of luck. You'll need it, since Lygia ended up with the entire inheritance.
How do you know all these things?
People talk, I listen. That's all.
Who did you say you were to my father?
A trusted acquaintance. I supported him with good advice. Though truth be told, he rarely needed it. Your father had a gift for making good decisions.
Which of my father's decisions would those be?
Ones that were good for your family. Perhaps we'll have the chance to return to this another time. Goodbye, Mr. Shulsky.
Yes, I'm sure.
Так. Нифига. Найти человека. Светлана Румянцева, понятно. Подожди.
Thaumaturge never fails me. There is something here.
Мадам Самира. Да куда? Что?
Maybe that's enough. What do you want?
Ова.
The trick with entering someone's head. I know one person who can do that.
You're not much of a thaumaturge if you can't. You come here to torment me, unmask me.
I don't see any fun in unmasking you.
So what do you want?
Your siren is quite impressive.
Flattery will get you nowhere.
Madame, you're being impolite. What about a little competition? We'll see who wins.
I'll pass.
I think your idea of pretending to be a medium is fantastic.
It sounds like I...
How many people know?
Is that a threat?
I noticed a wild salutor here. I understand.
Keep your nose out of it.
Why?
Because I'm...
What do you know about this salutor?
Don't you?
A name doesn't tell us much anyway. All that matters is...
I know perfectly well who... Another reason for you to stay out of...
The person with the flaw attended the seance, right? So I'm on the right.
Have you finished?
Так, надо стащить этого салютора.
So should we finish up?
That would be best. And listen to me carefully.
Shulsky, but you can...
Now, Mr. Shulsky, you will vanish like a bad dream and...
Так, Лигия. Тут же лежит что-то.
Here you are.
Gentlemen, meet my brother.
Viktor Shulsky.
The last Shulsky to wear trousers. You don't know that. Miss Ligia could yet produce an heir to the fortune.
Maybe even with me, if she doesn't tell my wife.
But let's talk like men. You intend to take over your father's company, correct?
First, I suggest you mind your own business. Your marriage, for instance. Perhaps Louisa isn't the ninny you take her for.
I beg your pardon?
Hasn't it occurred to you that when you leave her at home, she might also take advantage of her solitude?
What are you suggesting?
You've got a cuckold's horns. Was I being too subtle?
I suppose it's true what they say about you.
Yes? What's that?
You've lost your mind.
Thank you. I've worked long and hard at that.
Good luck with your business, miss.
I almost feel sorry for them.
Have I crossed the line?
Nonsense. Any progress with Svetlana?
Sofia Skawan, the Governor General's daughter. Do you know her?
No, and I don't suggest you make her acquaintance either. Skawon can't stand thaumaturges.
Guess who I ran into again? All mysterious and carved up.
Ivan Konieczkin?
What do you know about him?
Not much. He was an acquaintance of Papa's. Well, in theory, it's thanks to him that we're here.
What? Ligia?
I know that nothing comes for free, but he really didn't want anything.
Yeah, he looks like a real altruist. You enjoying yourself in this Viper's den?
The vodka is quite tolerable. I'm observing my own brother taking out his anger on ordinary mortals.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've taken a long, deep look at Samira. She's no medium. Samira is a thaumaturge on the hunt.
On the hunt?
Madame has spotted a salutor that's attached to one of the guests.
What kind of salutor?
Remember those fairy tales Mother used to read us? And the legend of the golden snake?
Yes, Veles.
Yes. I'm glad you're here.
Are you also hunting for him?
I admit I like to have him. I haven't made up my mind.
Be careful.
I am. That's why I haven't made up my mind.
Царь преисподней в славянской мифологии, божество богатства, непревзойденный интриган. На Суара он может в воле подстрекать. Короче, вот это мне нужен.
I'm going.
Он по-любому изъят слово. Кстати. Что мне с этим делать? Ничего? Я как-то могу... Ладно.
Shulsky, don't play.
Do you know the hostess well?
Will you leave me alone if I say I don't?
No.
Svetlana Petrovna invited me, and I am doing my best to meet her expectations. Let's keep out of one another's way.
Whose soul are you summoning tonight, dear madame?
I only know which one I'd prefer to banish. Shoot.
Maybe my dead father's. If you manage that, it would spare me a...
Now we'll never know.
I saw one of your posters. You look...
Really, the illustration doesn't rift.
How should I take that? No one warned me that
I beg your pardon.
I'm just noting that you stand out among these boring guests.
Impudent.
Just a bit uncouth, I'd say. I'll disappear. Fun.
Sometimes it's good to let things go and leave other people in peace. For your own benefit.
I think I'll take up this gauntlet.
Так, ну тут Светлана осталась, по-моему, все. Сохранить сразу. На всякий.
And the general says to him, "Tell us something funny." Then Bautsky replies, "General, why don't you shoot a cannon first?"
That's a good one. I'll have to tell it tomorrow at the Orloffs.
Who might this be joining our conversation?
You know, sir, your face looks familiar to me.
My name is Viktor Shulsky.
Ah, yes, I can see something in your eyes. I was sorry to hear about your father.
I'll see you next time, darling. Wonderful party.
See you there.
I think I've offended the creme de la creme of Warsaw.
This is hardly the creme de la creme. How do you find my soirée?
I admit I'm getting reacquainted with the social scene.
You spent a long time traveling, didn't you?
15 years. Over that time, I got used to harsher surroundings.
Believe me, drawing rooms can be just as dangerous as untamed steppes. You've met Anastasia and Marina. What about the others?
How is it, being part of the Tsar's court?
It is a blessing and a curse. Forgive me if I do not elaborate.
I've already met several distinguished guests. Madame Samira definitely stands out.
She is exceptional, isn't she? Her presence is the crowning glory of the evening. Has anyone else caught your eye?
Ivan Konieczkin, for instance. Apparently, he knew my father.
How remarkable. I wasn't aware. Konieczkin is something of a secretive person. And have you yet had occasion to meet the debutants of the season?
I'll be sure to seek them out.
This evening, Sofia Skowan herself is to grace us with her presence.
Well, well.
I suggest you move quickly. The competition is fierce.
The crux of the matter is that I'm here because of my father. You knew him.
That doesn't sound like a question. Of course, I was his customer. I truly am sorry for you, both of you. The death of someone close is always a dreadful blow. Please accept my condolences.
Svetlana Petrovna, I must insist. Can you tell me something more about my father?
Mr. Shulsky, I assure you we have the most delectable vodka. Besides that, I warmly encourage you to join Madame Samira's séance. It will be an unforgettable experience. I wonder, is that truly everything our soirée can offer you?
I've got no choice but to suffer through tonight.
No need to mince words.
I felt something. Where is it?
Did I see that you've met this Madame person?
Unfortunately, Svetlana doesn't want to breathe a word of it.
I'm sure she doesn't trust you. In company like this, that speaks well of her.
Why the cold shoulder, Ligia?
I've never liked her. Her manner gets under my skin. I've heard she's a dreadful schemer.
Did you know that Papa had an affair with the host of this party?
Are you sure?
Absolutely. As sure as the Thaumaturge can be. I felt what he felt when, well, you know.
Oh, stop! That's disgusting. Quickly, change the subject.
I'm going. I was looking for you.
Do you smoke, Mr. Shulsky?
I've quit.
In light of our approaching conversation, why don't we dispense with the pleasantries? Call me Svetlana.
Victor.
Ask.
You two had an affair.
Two grown-up, lonely people found momentary comfort in each other's arms. But romance wasn't behind that relationship. It was just that we were both looking in the same direction.
I didn't have the chance to get to know him as a person, much less one who'd show such emotion.
You mean love? That?
Was it love?
I miss him. That's all.
What do you mean by looking in the same direction? The burned note. Who sent it? I only sensed underhanded kindness.
Da, the Ochrana. I don't know which one of them exactly, if that's what you're asking. I've worked hard at it.
When did you receive this note?
A few weeks ago, back before your father.
I see. That large travel chest. You changed your mind.
About whether or not to pack. Right then, I wanted to escape badly, but that would have had its own consequences. In this game of false appearances, I'm the best.
I still don't know how this lovely note ended up in your hands. But in addition, I found a lovely strings of pearls, and on it, your feelings of guilt.
Your power is terrifying. Do you know that?
Tsarina Alexandra gave you those pearls. You two are close.
I am her confidant. I could call her my friend. I see how much she devotes to her family and the nation.
Yet something has changed. Your feelings of guilt. Do they have something to do with Tsarina Alexandra?
With the whole empire. Ruski mir im podawaj. We, the establishment, perceive the need for change. We want reform. The Colossus is already teetering, but if it falls... La guillotine, mon chéri. But I want to live, Victor. Ideally, closer to the west.
Where was my father in all this?
Willingly or otherwise, he was part of the establishment that wanted change and could see revolution before it arrived.
The Ochrana knew about you, hence the note.
They must have noticed something. Isn't it time you told me why you really came to my soirée?
Do you think the Ochrana killed my father?
Your father was crushed by a building. I don't think that's how the Ochrana works.
Perhaps you're right. What do you intend to do now?
Nothing. The soirées will continue. Society has come to expect it. Everything will stay the same. I myself shall manage.
I hoped you might know something about the Black Grimoire. My father left it to me in his will, but the grimoire has gone missing.
No. And the collapsed building? Have you been there?
There's nothing there.
My dear boy, I know nothing about Stanisław's book. I'm sorry, but I can't help you there. But I will not let you leave empty-handed. I strongly believe that there's one place you ought to visit. What you find there belongs to you.
Thank you.
No, thank you for listening.
Veles. Don't run away.
Splendid ladies, distinguished gentlemen, the hour is at hand. With lights dimmed and the curtains drawn, the souls of the dead slowly gather among us. On their command, I will give the chosen among you a tarot card as your invitation to the table.
For you, sir?
Fool. Our dear madame is fooling around and thinks you can scare me off. I'm done wasting time on this.
Let us gather in secret ritual. Let's not keep the souls waiting too long. Let us also make every effort together not to spoil their visit.
Mr. Shulsky, may I have a word?
How can I help?
My friends and I are just playing Truth Order, and now it's my turn. Won't you dazzle me with your powers?
First, please tell me the rules of this game.
Of course, I'm being silly. After all, you've been away a long time. It's simple. Each player in turn must admit a truth or accept a dare. Anyone who doesn't must drop out of the game and thereby loses. And I don't like to lose.
Your father would not be thrilled about you playing games with the Thaumaturge.
Maybe that's precisely the point. To keep violating his wishes?
I would guess that to you, a dare would be the lesser of two evils.
How very perceptive. It involves finding out my comrades' secrets. Irina, Maxim, or Sergei. The trick is that you're cleverer at it than I am.
I accept.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Let me see what I can find. Will any secret do?
Any. I'll wait anxiously for your return.
I'll take a look around.
They're getting impatient. What have you...
En parlant de secrets, I found your fan.
Oh, and I was just thinking that I hadn't remembered where I'd left it.
Very interesting. The fan revealed to me that you dropped it on purpose.
Oh, you've got me. I was hoping the right person would find it. And here we are. It worked.
Oh, I was wondering where you'd gone off to.
You know Sergei, don't you?
We're already acquainted.
Mr. Shulsky and I have completed my extra difficult dare together.
At your service.
Now time for truth. Are you seeing anyone?
Maybe we should not reveal all our secrets to one another right away.
Mr. Shulsky, our time is up. Sophia and I must leave for the seance. Madame is waiting.
Thank you once more.
See you. Therefore, Veles chased Sofia Skawan and her flaw here. She seemed like such an innocent... Unless you count sending her admirer on a... It's no coincidence she focused on me. After all, old Skawan hates Thaumaturge, the little scam. If I want to discern that little schemer's flaw, either her scheming or her jealous knight in shining armor, I hope her father...
Mr. Shulsky,
How can I help?
my friend...
I'll take a look around.
They're getting impatient.
Miss Irina would like to get to know Maxim better, but she...
What? She never told... And what does our dear Max...
Maxim only has one thing on his mind.
Oh, I knew it!
Ah, I was wondering where you'd gone off to.
You know, Sir. Mr. Shul...
At your service.
Now time...
My heart is already taken.
I was...
Mr. Shulsky, our time is up.
Thank you.
See you. Therefore...
They're getting im...
As far as Sergei,
Yes?
I'll be honest.
Anything you say.
Maxim own...
Mighty...
Miss Irina...
What?
Ah, I was wondering where you'd gone off to.
You know Sergei, don't you?
We're...
Mr. Shulsky...
At your service.
Now...
Maybe...
Mr. Shulsky, our time...
Thank you once more.
See you. Therefore, she seemed like... Unless you count sending her admirer... It's no coincidence. The little... If I want to discern that little schemer... Either her scheming or her jealous knight... I hope her father... May I have a word? You enjoying yourself?
I'm observing my own brother.
I don't know what... I'm going. Is this seat free?
The energy is dissipating. Ladies and gentlemen, I am losing contact with his souls.
Well, it was the souls that chose me after all.
It's true. The gentleman has a card.
Let us lay our hands on the table. Let us allow our minds to liberate themselves from our bodies toward the edges of the world as you know it.
Are you thinking of someone exceptional whom you wish to summon?
Leave her alone.
Sergei, this has nothing to do with you.
Dear guests, I implore you, the souls!
Your devotion goes unnoticed, and you know full well why that is.
I do. I am your father's choice, not yours, aren't I?
Quiet, please.
Well, this will make your companions happy. Making fools of people, heaven forbid.
Sit down.
My poor heart.
Focus on someone you want to make contact with.
There is one soul I'd like to summon.
Whom do you mean?
Teofil Skalski. Does that name mean anything to you? The poor man drowned on the way to Africa, didn't he?
No, it wasn't like that. I didn't know he would be killed.
Are you planning a similar fate for Sergei? All this just to get under your father's skin?
So what if it was? Do you know what it's like to live in the shadow of a cold, absent father?
Rings a bell.
Is it such a sin to want to be loved?
The powers you and your kind have are terrifying.
That's why people hate you! That's why my father is cracking down on you!
All that matters is I have what I wanted.
Don't you dare! You were supposed to stay away. I was supposed to leave here with Velis. All that work for nothing.
Tell me, what don't I understand?
Do you know who she is? Who her father is? You're right. Sophia Skawan was meant to have her flaw removed, discreetly. But I suppose it's too late for that, isn't it?
Someone hired you to remove the flaw from Sophia. Who?
Take a guess. Anyway, doesn't matter now. It's also too late to stay silent. What's done can't be undone. Sophia Skawan is now the center of the scandal.
I have this under control. I know how to give Sophia's story a happy ending.
I hope we don't all come to regret it.
Just wait until Rasputin sees you. Then you'll stop fighting me.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, this evening the souls were particularly restless.
Sofia?
Did you enjoy the show? My best so far. So, I suppose now is the time to applaud.
And you, sir, what can you tell us?
Let it sink in that you're free, finally. Neither your father nor your environment define you.
Everyone heard those atrocious words from my lips. I can't undo that. But you're right. You freed me.
What will you do now?
First, I'll apologize to Sergei. I was cruel to him.
What's going on here? The guests are complaining, and with good cause, I see. We're terminating this disaster.
Farewell, Viktor Shulsky.
See you.
No, I don't think so.
Will the gentleman with a book be leaving peacefully, or should we show him out?
No need, I can make it to the door. Madame, honored guests.
Victor, don't scare me like that.
Mr. Shulsky, are you all right?
I think it's time for us to go.
I'll snug us a carriage.
You'll have a hard time at this hour. I'll drop you off.
See, you can always count on Mr. Konieczkin.
Victor. Thank you. That's very polite. Thank you for an interesting evening.
I'm sorry it all turned out like this.
Not tonight, please.
Konieczkin is up to something.
Victor, if not for him, he really helped us tonight. I don't want to talk about it tonight. Good night.
Oh my, that sure is noisy. Hello?
Hello? Hello? Victor?
Speaking.
Victor, Uncle Sasha here. How are you? Have you visited your old stomping ground yet?
I've rediscovered something like a comfortable bed. The city has changed a lot, as have we all. The most important thing to me right now is retrieving my father's grimoire.
Your grimoire? I wish you luck, boy.
Yes, I'm fine, thank you. And how are you, Uncle?
I need your help, boy. It's a very delicate matter. Are you able to find a moment for your uncle?
All right, so where should we meet?
Remember where I took you kids for donuts?
I do.
Let's meet there. Maybe we can reminisce about the old days. Better days. See you then, Victor. Thank you.
Mr. Batinsky.
Is Rasputin here?
Sadly, yes.
It's good to see you. Although, I think I can already see what you need. Let's not waste time. How about that?
I look worse than I feel.
So then, what brings you here?
Why was she looking at me so... I wanted to ask you for an...
Let me share something about your pace in hunting for salutors. Aren't you losing yourself too much in it? Again?
Is there something you want to tell me? Do you not want to help me anymore?
Nonsense. You can always count on me. I'm just worried. Close your eyes and focus on my words. Concentrate on my voice. Relax and focus within yourself. Follow my voice inside yourself. Do you see him? He's remarkable.
I can't tame him.
You can, and you will. Look, he's afraid of you. Calm your heartbeat. It will scare him off. Calm yourself. You look better. You slept a long time.
Yes, it feels that way. What year is it?
Still 1905. Yet time flows on inexorably.
Have you seen the future again?
I don't know if it's the future. It could just be some symbols I don't know how to interpret. Heavy clouds drifting over battlefields, reaping a deadly harvest, and these faceless beings walking among strangely contorted bodies, and the ship, unsinkable, yet it went down with thousands on board. I feel as though I could have stopped it.
Did you watch me sleeping?
You still drool.
I think I shouldn't abuse the Nadezhinsky's hospitality any further.
That distressed woman you mentioned, Svetlana. You know, I saw her in my vision. That surly maid brought me the gossip about her that was going around town. This Svetlana is causing herself trouble.
What was this gossip, may I ask?
Nothing that would sully her in your eyes. She intrigued me. I'd like to meet her. And you know, I think she needs help.
Help? What do you want me to do?
Bring her to me. I won't keep you. Until next time.
Of all the giants in Pop...
I have to go now.
It's true.
Just no brawling, please. What can I...
It's nice in here. I'll be off now. That wasn't too hard.
Mr. Shulsky, I've got some fresh ideas.
Promising. But you can't keep wearing the same attire. Please. Meanwhile,
I won't bother you.
All right.
Just a moment.
Welcome back to our favorite square. A lot of good memories, hmm?
That's true, I do have fond memories of this place.
You were so small. You, Ligia, and Petya would always race from the droshky to the booth.
And then we'd hold up the entire line until we finally decided what filling we wanted in our donuts.
And Ligia would always rush you.
That's because she only likes the milk plum. Who does that? Anyway, I'm guessing you need my help.
You truly are your father's son. To the point. To the point. All right. It's about a certain incident at the Imperial Hotel.
Is it about the confusion that supposedly aroused during one of the recurrent soirees?
Do you know what happened there?
No, not at all. I wasn't there.
Good. Because the party know nothing about attracted the interest of several important figures. I'm just saying. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. It's about Petya. And the Imperial Hotel, a boy, fell from a balcony and he's dead. Those hyenas from the Warsaw Courier have already jumped on it.
How is it linked to Petya? Is he alright?
Yes, he's fine. But you see, that wretched balcony is part of his apartment.
I didn't know Petya lived at the Imperial. He didn't mention it when I saw him at the funeral.
He rents an apartment. Says he's more comfortable that way. Closer to his friends. You know, I'd like to be more in touch with him.
You're not very close?
Since losing Helena, it's been up and down between us. My work kept me from devoting enough attention to him. Maybe I was too lenient with him.
Who was the guy who died?
Ludwig Krajewski. He and Petya were from two different worlds. You know, the Krajewskis they're not wealthy.
There's nothing wrong with that, but how did he and Petya meet?
That you'll have to ask my son.
And what role exactly am I here to play, Uncle?
Do what you do best. Use your powers to find out how Ludwig's death is connected to Petya. With all due respect to Stasio, I don't want to make the same mistake judging my only son as he did. I want to know the truth, whatever it is. And those Krajewskis. I know the press is trying to contact them. I fear that without your help, they might publish something untrue.
I'll go see Petya. And where can the Krajewskis be found?
They live in a courtyard-facing apartment of a tenement house, near the Imperial.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you. Thank you. Go. I stay here for a while.
Nobody's home?
They are. They just won't answer the door. Tobias Fegi, the Warsaw Courier.
Maybe they want to mourn their son in peace rather than talk to the press.
What are you looking for here?
Information. But I think my methods are more effective.
Then maybe I will leave, and later you can share something. Deal?
All right. If I learn anything interesting, I'll share it with you.
Great. It's a deal. I will hold you to your word.
You chased him away? Glory be. Thank you. Please, come in before he gets back. Let me at least offer you some tea.
Thaumaturge never fails me. There is something here.
Come in. Would you like some tea? My name's Krajewski. Zygmunt.
Viktor Szulski. Thank you. Maybe later. I have a question.
Is it about Ludwig? Since you brushed that news hound off. All right. Ask away.
Do you get invaded by the press often?
Not a day passes without someone knocking at the door, sniffing around, reopening wounds, looking for a scoop. But each one of them also promises money. We're not wealthy, and after Ludwig's death, we have even less.
You could use some money now.
Sure, but I really don't know what I could tell the news hounds.
That's enough. Can I ask you about Ludwig's belongings?
You've looked around by now?
I found a photo of a young woman. Who is she?
This is Hannah, Ludwig's sweetheart. They had been seeing each other for a while. She was here not long ago, after what happened.
An elegant men's coat. Is it Ludwig's?
I don't have the heart to sell it. Ludwig liked it so much. Piecha gave it to him.
I've seen the doctor's bill.
I think this is trash.
Did Ludwig live here with you?
Not much recently. Piecha kept inviting him to all kinds of places. Parties, dances, horse racing.
Did it happen often?
What? Piecha's invitations? Yes. I would tell him Ruskies were not appropriate company for him.
Perhaps Ludwig was impressed with it all.
You bet. But if you ask me, Piecha was using Ludwig so that others would admire him for spending time with a poor man. So, there you have it.
That's enough. Goodbye.
You didn't introduce yourself, but I have my own ways of getting to the truth. W.S. Victor Shulsky. Are you one of those Shulskis? Stanisław's son?
No. What do you want?
Our little deal, remember?
I didn't learn anything new.
Too bad. I'm afraid in tomorrow's newspaper, people will read that Thaumaturge is a scam. In that case, until next time, Mr. W.
Hello.
Mr. Shulsky, hello. Shall I inform the authorities and hospitals, or shall I wait? Your last visit has become somewhat of a legend.
This time it'll be quiet, I promise. I'm here to see Pyotr Voronin.
Is Master Voronin moving out by any chance?
Not that I know of. Why should you care?
The gatherings that the young master deigns to organize are rather noisy and bothersome. The guests have been complaining. Some have left.
Never mind. Where can I find our pest?
Room 213, second floor. You've been there already.
So, same thing tonight, gentlemen?
You bet. I'll get some cognac. It will help relax the atmosphere.
So, same thing tonight, gentlemen?
You bet. I'll get some cognac. It will help relax the atmosphere. Who's this guy?
It's just my cousin. Hello, Victor. Meet Thomas and Franz. Did you miss me?
I wanted to see how you've settled in.
Take a look around. It gets quite interesting here during my modest parties. Want some champagne?
About these parties, I think someone got lost on the balcony recently.
It was Papa who sent you, wasn't it? I told him to stay out of this. Thomas, Franz, show my cousin the door.
As you can see, I can be stubborn.
Congratulations. Franz and Thomas are tough customers. Well, speak up. I don't have all day.
What happened that night, from your point of view?
Thanks, cousin. It's hard for me to talk about it. He was my friend. We were having fun. Whiskey, cigars, and other amusements. Ludwig got drunk and went out on the balcony. He yelled something about wanting to get higher, even higher. And then there was a scream and a shriek from down below. I stepped out onto the balcony and Ludwig, he was down there, dead.
I went to see the Krajewskis.
How are they?
They remember how close you two were, how much Ludwig cherished your friendship and your gifts.
Really? The Krajewskis remember me?
How do you want to end it? Your friend is dead. He was someone's son.
Yes, the Krajewskis. I know they're poor, but I can help them with that.
They say the press is interested in them.
I've heard. I'm not worried about myself, but it may damage Papa's reputation. And it could take a toll on the Krajewskis too. I want to protect them. Money is no object. Hello? Who is it? Did she introduce herself? No, do not let her in under any circumstances. Damn it.
You have an unwelcome guest?
Mind your own business, cousin.
I insist you let me in!
I've already told you, madam. Master Voronin is not here.
Perhaps I could help you somehow. Let's talk.
Please do. Best of luck. I'd do anything for a short break from those annoying guests of his.
I will get to that bastard no matter what. Don't even try to throw me out.
Quite the opposite. I can help you. But first, I'd like to know why he didn't want to let you in.
Because he's afraid to look me in the eye. And I'm carrying his child.
I see. Pietia should hear the joyful news. Please give me a moment.
Mr. Shulsky, can I help you?
Think about it. This lady can get away with doing a lot more to hotel guests than you ever could. Remember, she will only make life miserable for Pietia.
Well, that's true. I hope the young master is happy to see you.
That's incredible. Thank you. I will go bring that bastard to his senses. Please join me. It will be quite the spectacle.
You let her in? Are you out of your mind?
You should ask yourself that question. Don't act like a brat. You're going to be a father.
Get out of here. I told you I would pay. Leave me alone.
I hope life teaches you a lesson someday.
Why are you standing like that?
I can see something interesting in you, cousin.
What the hell are you talking about?
Aren't you ashamed to turn Anna away like that? Is that how your father raised you?
Nobody asked for your advice.
You'll enjoy yourself while she's dispossessed. She'll end up in the streets, together with your child. 2 lives in 1 blow. Well done. What was a poor man like Ludwig doing with a rich bachelor like you?
Don't say that. I did him a favor by buying a new life for him.
A prince leaning over a pariah. Wasn't that right?
I made his life better. Why did you come back? To harass me? Your father should have drowned you rather than send you to Paris.
Soon you will be free and you will take it all back. Are you all right?
Yes. I haven't felt this good in a long time. It's like someone lifted a shroud from my head.
How did Ludwig really die?
Ludwig, we made a bet. Drunk. I was going to pay him for walking on the railing, like in a circus. We even signed a contract. It was Hanya's idea. I guess she was afraid I would trick them.
Where can I find her?
She was Ludwig's girlfriend. She works at Lock, Stock and Barrel. I hung around with Ludwig just for show, to be honest. He didn't deserve it. I was a little harsh on you.
Don't mention it. Although, if you want to make it up to me...
Then?
I know a girl who is waiting for your apology.
Damn. Anna.
Beer?
I'd like to ask about Hanya.
Hey, Zdenek! There's a stalker here asking about Hanya. Grab your buddies and get them to stop bothering her.
What's going on here? I've just come to work to find all this hustle and bustle. The boss said you asked about me. What is it?
Miss Hanya, I'm Victor. I know you're in possession of a certain contract. Someone at the Imperial Hotel wanted to become the third Wright brother, but his flight was even shorter.
He sent you here, didn't he? To keep me quiet. I'll scream.
There's no need. Just hand me that contract and I'll be gone. I will take that burden off your shoulders.
Take it. I don't need it. It's nothing but trouble. I'll go get it. Here, their contract.
Thank you. Tell me, what really happened that day?
Ludwig and Pietia were both drunk and made a bet. If Ludwig walked on a railing, Pietia would pay him. A lot. Ludwig was confident. He teetered, and...
Why didn't you get rid of the contract? You could have destroyed it.
I wanted to, but I was afraid Pietia would send someone after me to save himself. The contract is proof of his guilt. But it was my idea for them to sign it. The Krajewskis could use some money. We could have gotten married, gotten away. It doesn't matter now. Take it.
I'll be going.
Anya, quit chatting. There's beer to be sold.
I hope you'll use this contract wisely.
What do you mean?
Pietia deserves to suffer after what he did.
What now, sir?
Mr. Krajewski, is there a sum of money that could, at least to some extent, make up for the loss of Ludwig?
No money can undo what happened.
But it might solve other problems. I will insist.
One more thing.
That's enough. Goodbye.
What now, sir?
I bring you the sad truth, but I believe Ludwig deserves it. Your son was supposed to walk on the railing to win money from Pietia.
Jesus, I told him. I kept telling him it wasn't the right company to keep. I told him.
I'll be going.
Thank you for... What now, sir?
Do you get invaded by the press?
Not a day, but...
You could... You want justice for your son, but your wife is dying. You have no choice. That's why you will take the money I'm offering.
I'll accept the money.
And you won't tell anyone about it, especially the press.
No one.
Tell me, boy, what's up?
We need to talk about Pietia.
Great. Yes, you know what? Let's start walking again. It's kind of stuffy here, you know. And on the bench, I'll be able to think straight about what you're saying. Well, shoot, boy. No matter how much it hurts.
Ludwig and Pietia got drunk and they made a bet. Ludwig had to walk on the railing for a large sum of money from Pietia. We know how it ended.
Pietia. Pietia. What have you done?
Well, you'll soon be a grandfather, uncle. Congratulations.
So, my son will have an illegitimate child. Who's the poor girl?
The important thing is he wants to take care of her. He's taking responsibility.
Responsibility. Damn it, Victor. He should have thought that before. Is there anything else?
That's all, Uncle.
Thank you for taking care of that matter. I believe that if your younger self had that kind of support, your life could have been different.
Tell me, what will happen to Petya now?
He will, as you said, take responsibility and marry the mother of his child. I will make him, if I have to.
Unfortunately, from what I understand, the Krajewskis have finally agreed to talk to the press.
Maybe it's better that way. Don't worry about it. It's getting late. I'll take a walk and think. Good night.
Good night, Uncle.